Hi, this is Ben Baxter with Accent Software. Wanted to bring you a quick tip on Business Central. Today we're going to talk about something called item cross-references or item references. I'm on an item list. I have an Athens desk, but my customer calls it something different. Maybe my vendor calls it something different. So I'm going to go to the item reference list, and you'll notice I have several examples here. So I can have a customer-specific example. So the customer sends in a purchase order and it references ATH desk. That needs to be able to be translated by my order entry people on the sales quote. Same thing if I'm sending a purchase quote or purchase order to a vendor and they reference their item number as Athens desk. I still want to list it as my part, but when I send the document to the vendor, I want it to reference their part number. So I'll show you that example as well. Then I have an example of a barcode and just a different generic number that may be a vendor barcode that's provided, something like that. If I go to a sales document, in this case we'll go to the sales quote. When I open up a sales quote for that customer, 20,000 that was listed in the reference, if I type in ATH desk, the system's gonna find my Athens desk because I'm using the item reference. Now, you do need to be careful. If I type in ATH desk in the number field, it's not going to find anything. So if you are using cross references or item references, you do want to make sure you have this item reference field shown on your sales documents, purchase documents, however you're going to use it. So just be careful of that. Same thing if I type in 1896 as a different number, it will then find it for me because that is one of the references. Same thing if I were to use the barcode, then it will find the item. So however I do my search, as long as I'm using that item reference field and the reference exists, it will find the correct part number inside Business Central. Now the same is true on the purchase side. So if we go over to a purchase quote and we look at the purchase quote, and what we're going to look at is this item reference. So in this case, it knows for this particular vendor that there is an item reference. So when I print this or I send it to them as a PDF, the system's no longer going to reference my 1896 number. It's now going to reference the vendor's part number. And that makes it easier on your vendors to make sure they get the right parts. They have it in their system as Athens desk 1896. So as long as you know that, you can store that information so that they can find their parts correctly when you place orders with them. So that's just a reference. You can still just use your regular part number. It is just when the system finds your part, it will drop in that item reference and then it will use it on the purchase document. So just a little different option for you, being able to identify parts in your system based on different customer or vendor requirements. As long as that data is stored in the item cross-reference, you are in good shape. If you have questions on this or other areas of Business Central, by all means reach out to our Accent Software support team. We love to help people better utilize their Business Central environment.